On this episode of the Whiskey Tornado, we review a bourbon from a distillery you guys keep sleeping on. It's Barrell Craft Spirits Mizunara Finished Bourbon. Barrell Craft Spirits Mizunara Finished Bourbon is a blend of 6, 7, and 9-year Indiana bourbon, an 8-year Kentucky bourbon, and an 8 and 14-year Tennessee bourbon. It has a derived mash bill of 76% corn, 20% rye, and 4% malted barley. It is a blend of straight bourbon whiskeys, further matured in Mizunara oak for a year and a half, bottled in Kentucky, with a proof of 115.52. According to Barrell Craft Spirits website, casks made from rare Mizunara hardwood are a true work of art. The wood is meticulously cut and the barrels carefully raised due to the wood's characteristics, and precision is required to craft a harmonious blend. Welcome back to the Whiskey Tornado. I'm your host, Lance. I'm excited to get into this one for you guys. Full transparency, Barrell Craft Spirits, long supporter of the channel. They did send me this bottle. So as always with Barrell Craft Spirits, they're okay for me giving you my honest review, and I have no problems doing that. So let's get into a pour of this. Now, for those that don't know, Mizunara oak, very hard to work with, bendy. The barrels can leak a lot, which is why you see such high prices on Mizunara finished bourbons. I know Starlight's coming out with one that's, rumored to be close to 150. Rabbit Hole's coming out with one. There's many distilleries coming out with a Mizunara oak finished bourbon. The difference is where their pricing there is at $150, Barrell Craft Spirits is $85. So already at the price, they have me very intrigued, especially with the ages and the mash bill that I read to you earlier. Now, here on the Whiskey Tornado, I will nose this, taste this, and then I will tell you guys whether I think it's a buy or pass based on where you are in your bourbon journey. I think that's what makes our channel a little different. I'll tell you guys whether, you should buy it if you're a beginner, intermediate, or aficionado. And then if it's really good, I'll tell you guys whether I think you should bunker some extra bottles in case the bourbon you love is no longer made. All right, let's get into the nose on this. Cheers, everybody. The nose is gorgeous, guys. I opened this on a live stream a couple weeks ago, and it just hadn't opened up. I think this is one, as with many finished bourbons, you need to give it a little time, give it a little air, and this one definitely has opened up. And it is gorgeous. It is dark, like brown sugar. By smelling it, I would not know it's finished, knowing now, because I read everything that it's finished in Mizunara oak for a year and a half. Mizunara oak, if you've ever had a lot of Japanese whiskey, imparts this unusual note. I think they said sandalwood on their website, which I think is the best way to describe it. If you've ever smelled a sandalwood candle, it gives it that kind of weird floral kind of earthiness to it. There's none of that here, and I actually really love the flavors Mizunara oak imparts on Japanese whiskey. It's different. You can tell it's different. This has none of that. It's dark brown sugar. RC Cola is a big note I'm getting that I wasn't getting during the live stream, but now it's just really standing out to me. Heavy vanilla, but definitely like vanilla ice cream with RC Cola poured over it. Yeah, really, really beautiful nose. There is in the background, if you go really deep into the glass, there is this like fresh cut wood note that you guys know I often get on craft whiskey, younger whiskey, kind of a grain forward note, but it's really far down in there. It's not off-putting at all, but that may be because what's the youngest whiskey blended into this? Not really. The youngest whiskey's 6 years, so yeah. But the nose is beautiful. RC Cola is the main note I get on the nose. All right, let's get into the palate. Cheers, everybody. Oh man, this might be one of my favorite barrel releases ever. They just keep getting better, guys. We told you guys from, let's see, I think batch 27 was a hitter from them. Batch 34, batch 35 was amazing. The Vantage bourbon was great. Seagrass Rye was great. This might be my favorite release from Barrell ever. The first sip was like like a rich salted caramel. It's just gorgeous. That vanilla cola is there with that salted caramel. It's almost got a brininess to it that's really beautiful that you don't get in a lot of bourbons, which, you know, if you're giving this a unique score, gives it a little bit of uniqueness. There's nothing in it, though, that tells you it's finished. You do not pick up on the Mizunara oak. I wouldn't know it was there. It just gives it a different enough flavor where it doesn't taste like every other bourbon, but you can't put your finger on why. It's really nice. There's a whisper of cherry, but not much. For me, mostly that like briny salted caramel and vanilla cola is coming out with a little bit of cherry. This is really nice at 116 proof. I don't think it drinks its proof. It's really crushable at that. Maybe a little bit drying on the back end, probably from the extra 1.5 years in the Mizunara oak. If I had to knock it, that would be the only knock on this. This is just beautifully done. I mean, Barrell Craft Spirits, they are master blenders. God, it's good stuff, man. That is a great whiskey. Yeah, I think this might be one of my favorite things Barrell Craft Spirits has ever released. And what's crazy is the night that I opened on a live stream, I thought it was really good, but I couldn't pick out flavors. It was just like a burst of everything. But now that I've had time to sit with it and let it open up, it's really opening up nicely. You guys have got to find this, man. So whether this is a buy or pass for you, for a beginner, I'm not sure if this would be a buy, because of the 116 proof. It might come off a little hot to you. I don't think it does. I think it drinks under the proof. So yeah, I'm gonna say this is a buy even for a beginner. Just know you might have to add some water to it if it's a little hot for you. For intermediate and bourbon aficionados, this is 100% a buy at $85 for a Mizunara oak finished bourbon. You're getting it at half the price of some other distilleries are charging. So it's a buy all day long. And is it a bunker? I would say yes, absolutely. This is a bunker bourbon to me. Might be one of my favorite things I've tasted this year, which is saying a lot, which is crazy. But I'm going to have to put this in some blinds and see how it does. But knowing that Mizunara oak finished things are so hard to find when you do, they're super expensive, and knowing, you know, what may or may not be going on with Barrell, I would be bunkering some of these. I think it's one of my favorite expressions from them. They just knocked it out of the park, as they always do. All right, guys, if you enjoyed this review, please hit the like, comment. Feel free to give us a comment if you've tasted the Barrell Craft Mizunara Oak. Also, if you'd like to support the channel, our link to our Patreon is below. We do a lot of fun things in our Patreon. You can join for as little as $2 a month. If you enjoy barrel picks, you can join our charity organization, Barrels for Hope, where we do all our barrel picks and all proceeds go to charity. The link to that is also in the description below. As always, thank you guys so much for the channel support, and we will see you on the next review. Cheers, everybody.